Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight high up here and the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. So starting off, you can see I have this overnight high not quite at the very high swing right here. It's off of this level right here. Clearly price was reacting to this level more. It's the overnight high and low levels. They're not necessarily about the absolute high. It's about where it has the most resistance or support near the high. And so it clearly fit better there, so I ended up playing it there. And so anyway, I started trading as we were pushing up right here. So this is 8 Central Time as we were making this leg up. So starting off, we have this uptrend break, push up to a new high. Notice if you look at it from this wick here, we have these 2 legs up to a new high. That's very typical. Uptrend break, 2 legs up to a new high before reversing back down after reaching this resistance level. And so the most ideal looking entry in this area here would be a failed second entry. So that's a reversal pattern. A reversal pattern is a failed second entry at a reversal area. So we have context for a reversal. Once again, the uptrend played out and you're off of this resistance level here. Perfect area for a reversal. And so what we want is a failed second entry. And ideally what that would look like is we push below the EMA and we get a failed second entry holding below the EMA, but instead we get this lower high that's been holding above the EMA, which is not ideal. Now, I see this tick higher right here. You can see first entry long, second entry long, failure. On a bigger picture, that's really just a lower high. But so it's really just a lower high that's been holding above the EMA right there. While the EMA is up, it's not managing to get below the EMA. That's just not good for a reversal area. So there's unfortunately no way to safely enter short here. If you entered short right there, you clearly got out, at 1-to-1. But it's just not an ideal looking entry. You want to see it get below the EMA there. And so anyway, after we have these 2 legs down here, there's no reason to enter long here either, because after we make this first entry long, second entry long, there's no reason to enter long. It's not off of any support. Of course, this trend line was at here at the time, but it broke through, so it wasn't really holding on to support. And then when it closed up here, it closed back above this channel low here and also above the EMA. So you could say it might be holding at that point, but if you do enter on it there, you'd be entering right into this high right here, and it could easily just bounce off, make a bigger picture failed second entry, because if it ticks higher here, reaches that high, that's a bigger picture failed second entry, and the measured move hasn't been met yet, so you can easily find a short right there if you close enough back out. And so there's no reason to go long there. That's an easy way to get trapped. It's not going to just bounce out like that every time. So anyway, after we bounce right there, I extended this range, I extended this channel just to see how it holds later on. We push up, we get this breakout pullback. You don't want to enter on a breakout pullback. It only, after the breakout only is 1 attempt to fade back in, which is not good. You want to see 2 attempts. Otherwise, you're not entering on a failure. You're basically just blindly expecting this breakout to work, which you can't just expect breakouts to work. Sometimes they fade back in, sometimes they work out, but you need a clear. When you break out, you want to see 2 attempts to fade back in before you enter with that breakout, because otherwise you're not entering on a second attempt failure. And markets move in 2s, so therefore you want to enter on the second attempt to fade back in on the failure of it. So anyway, we push up here, we get these small corrections that don't quite reach the EMA, and then eventually we get this huge push down. So now you see this first leg up here, so leg up, break, second leg up. The second leg is clearly a lot longer, but on a bigger picture, that's really just 1 leg up here. We can see that that's 1 push out, and then we have this attempt to fade back down, and then this is the second attempt to fade. So talking about fading this overnight level right here. And so just like we broke out here, we had these couple attempts to fade. We broke out again, we had this attempt to fade. Now this is a bigger picture breakout, and then these are bigger picture attempts to fade back in. And so after you rush down like that, you can absolutely look for a short to get in on that second attempt down, but you just need room. And so here, by the time you get this failed second entry, you see first entry long, second entry long, failure. You're right into this trend line right here. So even though you have this measured move in play, even though you're expecting a second leg down to try to fade this overnight high, you still can't enter on it. It's just right into that resistance level. And then we push through it here, but we make this double bottom. We push back up, so now we have this double bottom and prices between the double bottom and the EMA. The EMA had clearly been holding. We have this 1, 2, we're holding a third time right there. And so you can't enter short on any of this. It's just right into this resistance level. And so it's just, you don't want to enter right into that. You know, it could easily hold. If you entered on it here, it clearly held right there, almost stopped you out. Now, ideally from here, on this triple test right here, you don't want to just enter on this triple test after it makes a green bar. You want it to actually get above the EMA, because the EMA is proving to be very strong to the downside, clearly trying to make this measured move get reached here. And so you want to see price actually get above, hold above, ideally with a failed second entry above the EMA. That'd really be your only chance of getting long in this area right here. And so unfortunately you don't get that, you don't have any room for any shorts either. You just push on down, you reach that measured move here, you retest this overnight high. So you retest the overnight high, it's into this trend line right here, so you don't want to just buy just because it's retesting that level. But you'll notice here on this downtrend here with these high, these two on the highs, you got this low, it doesn't actually make a second confirmation. It actually overshoots and then immediately breaks. So overshoots lead to breaks. That's very typical. And so you have this higher low right here. It's not a failed second entry. You don't have a clear first entry long, second entry long failure. It's really just this higher low right here. And I do like this higher low to go long. I missed out on it myself, but I do think it looks good. So considering the overshoots lead to breaks. You retested a major key level, which is the overnight high. You have two full attempts to fade back down. So after those two attempts, you retest the overnight high and you just spring back above the EMA. Like you get above and you don't even correct and touch it here. You just really strongly push bullishly above the EMA. And you get this correction here. You get a higher low. You can, market moves in pairs of twos, so you can expect a second leg up there. And so you'll notice you can get something like that there. Perfect measured move. And so you can expect a second leg higher there. And once again, let's look at the context. You retested a major key level at the same time overshooting, and then you just sprang out. You hardly reacted to this upper trend line here. You didn't even, it wasn't even strong enough to push it down to the EMA. It just sprang up, got this higher low. You can expect a second leg. This uptrend here has a break. You can expect prices to attempt to make a new high. Just like with here, you have this uptrend, break, two legs at a new high. Here you have uptrend, break, first leg at a new high, break, and then you can expect that to be a second leg. Of course, on a bigger picture, you can see that's one leg, and then you have a second leg there. But if you zoom in, you got to take it one level at a time. First leg up, break, second leg up. So then after we push up here, we have this two-legged correction right here. It's very clear. And so you'll notice we met this measured move here. And so just like I was talking about how there's two legs up there, but on a bigger picture, it's one leg up because price action levels get bigger as more time goes on, as I always say. So now we can view this as uptrend, break, first attempt at a new high, and we can still expect a second attempt at a new high. And so here you have this measured move in play. From here, break, put it to that swing. As soon as we start pushing up, you can drag it to there. And so I like this right here because you can see the two legs back. It's like a second entry long, and then you can see it's closing above the EMA here. Now, if you go to a bigger time frame chart, this will just look like two legs back and then one bull bar pushing above the EMA. Now, I know it wasn't off of any real support down here. I only took it after it managed to get back above the EMA. But it clearly had a strong bullish push higher above the EMA as soon as it met that measured move. Once again, looking at the bigger picture context, we're expecting a second leg up from here because the uptrend, break, first attempt higher, we're entering on the second attempt higher. And so that's why I like that there. And then my target, it was within this measured move right here. I just decided to keep it within that swing to be safe. So this is 1.75 R. It's not quite 1 to 2. But I pushed it as far as I could, which I wasn't going to push it past this swing just in case it wants to make a double top. Notice how it had some reaction off of it right there. So anyway, we push up. We meet that measured move perfectly. As soon as we reach it, we attempt to push back down. We just get this first entry, so there's no way to enter long right there, unfortunately. And then we push up here, which I want to mark this trade really quick since I think it looks good. I want to mark that. So we push up there. Now we have the two attempts at a new high. Successfully made a new high for that uptrend. We continue up higher here. We get this first entry long here. It pushed below the EMA a little bit, but once again, it's just a first entry, so you don't want to enter on just a first entry. And then here you get this, you can see first entry short, second entry short, failure. So it's a failed second entry, but it's pretty sideways and choppy, and it's not big picture anyway. So anyway, we push up higher here, no clear entries right there. And then at this point right here, as we're pushing higher there, the range isn't very clear. You can, we push lower, push back higher. You can see that there's a swing there and a swing there. You can see how it holds. But this wasn't very clear until after we made this push up here. And then you have that double bottom there. So anyway, we pushed lower here. We get this leg down, break, push to a new low. And then I don't like this trade until after it closes above the EMA, and then you would need a limit order. I noticed quite a few people tried to enter on this on the Discord, but many of them did not get filled. I did not get filled either. So it would look like, and I'm not talking about entering down here. I'm talking about entering more like up here. And so you can see that, and then you would need a limit order. That way you can get in before the range high right there. And so anyway, I like that right there, but I missed out on it. So we push it up, we bounce off the range high right there. We get this lower high. It's not an ideal looking lower high. It's just starting to go sideways. You're entering lower than halfway into this range right here. You don't even have room. So there's no reason to enter that. Now you can see we have a couple legs down here on a small picture, but on a bigger picture, you can see these legs down here. So now you have, as we're trying to reach this measured move here, we have these two attempts to reverse back down. And then right here, you get a limit order trade to go long. And so after you get these two clear attempts to reverse back down, you have this huge, very strong rush above the EMA. It's closing on the end of the bar there. Now, you would just need room to get out before those highs. Clearly, this level right here is strong enough to where it's not letting price reach this measured move, and it's very strongly going in the up direction, which is with the overall bias here. So you want to stick with the bias. Clearly, it's finding resistance right here, or support right here, and it's very strong to the upside. So I would look for a long right here. I was not able to be at the computer at the time of this entry right here. Same exact with this entry over here, unfortunately. So yeah, you would need a limit order, but that looks good. Two attempts to reverse. You're entering on the failure. It couldn't get past this resistance level, shooting back above the EMA. So we push up here, and you can see we get very choppy right here. We reach the EMA, but you're entering right into this congestion at the highs of the day so far, so there's no reason to enter that. I would want to see two clear legs back, not chop and then a first entry. And now you can see here, you can kind of see these two legs back, first leg back, second leg back. It does have a reset, but you can tell there's like a second entry right there. And there's just no clear signal bar, so no way to get a clean entry on this. But we push up here, we start pushing back below. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some kind of reversal pattern back down, although it's clear we're also going into this range right here. So we'll see how this holds right here. Maybe we'll get a reversal pattern down. Maybe we'll end up holding on this range, and then we'll just go sideways for a bit. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this video helped out in some way, and I'll see you all next time.